Howdy y'all, thank you for joining me today for this Kickstarter I just got in. This is the Castles of Mad King Ludwig expansion Renovations. And this is the Colossal version, which says it has the Colossal and regular size expansion for Castles of Mad King Ludwig. So you'll be able to see the comparisons if you haven't seen the Colossal. I will admit, as much as it's silly, that the Colossal version of this game that I got through Kickstarter last year, I think, maybe before that. Anyways, I will admit it made me enjoy the game more. I don't know if it's just playing with big pieces of building a castle or what. So in this one, this is supposed to be an expansion where the king demands colossal renovations to his castle. So from what I understand, and we'll take a closer look when we get inside, is it's going to have tiles that you put on top of the other tiles. So you're renovating the room so that you can turn the room into other stuff. Is basically what it sounds like to me. I think it even kind of says it here. Yeah, because you would get the completion rewards for completing the room originally, I would assume. And then if you put the renovated down, you should get more victory points. And it even says this here. You could double up your rewards and fulfill favors twice as fast. Which makes sense. I can see this is definitely that type of expansion where, man, the rooms I need are not coming out. But now you have ways to, like, my first opinion on thoughts of it was, and while I'm talking about that, I can show you the contents here. My first opinion on thoughts of it were, man, if there's a cheap room that is the size I need, but I really want it to be this other type of room, well, I can buy that size for cheap. And then, however the renovation works, renovate that room. So, all right. Well, let's take a look at this. Shouldn't be too long, so we're just going to look at tiles, but we'll see. Since this is one of the games I like a lot, I'll probably end up jibber-jabbering for way too long and have to cut some stuff out. So, we'll see. All right, we've got the product catalog there. All right, we got the rule book here, so we'll take a closer look at that. I mean, it feels pretty thick, but I'm assuming it's going to be pretty standard there. Kind of shows you everything contents-wise here. Shows you all different sizes of renovation tiles. I didn't think about that. I guess it does have to be the chips, which I will like, and then the bigger cards now that I think, because it's the Colossal version. So, and with some more royal decrees, probably all about renovation. Same with the bonus cards and the... Oh, they just give you the bonus cards if you have the first edition, and you're just getting this as a... you know what? I will give them credit for that. It even says here for first edition. I'll give them credit for that. Like, making an expansion for a game you already had out as a first edition. The second edition, of course, changed it up, done chips and bigger cards. But thinking about those people who bought the first edition or owned the first edition and making this expansion to where you can get that stuff, you know, kudos to y'all. That's awesome. That way you don't have to be like, oh man, I would love to play with Renovations, but I didn't buy the second edition because I already have the first edition. That's awesome. I'm very hyped and high on that. That's cool. All right, Renovations, first edition setup. So that's if you have the first edition game, how to set it up. And then Renovations set up in the new edition. All right, I did a little edit there because I just wanted to see here. This is awesome because I wanted to see what they're going to do. Because I was hoping it wasn't just, oh, there's going to be some renovation tiles. But no, actually, for every room you draw, you're also going to draw a renovation room. And that's going to be off to the side over here. One for each size that you have out there. So that's awesome. Like I said, I do like that. All right. And this is more setup. Then we get into the gameplay, which is going to tell the differences there. And see, I just went ahead and read there just to be sure, and I may be missing it there and misinterpreting, but it sounds like what's going to happen is, since it's going to put out a renovation for every room that goes out there, it's like I said, so you can buy a 1,000 gold, or whatever they call it, coin, room. And when that room came out, it's going to have a renovation over there. So unless someone else beats you that renovation on a future turn, you can buy a renovated room for 5,000, a renovation for 5,000 coins, which means unless someone beat you to it, you paid 1,000 to get that room that maybe wasn't quite what you wanted, but due to the renovation still being there, you still paid 6,000, which, see, it's still, yeah, I mean, it's a give or take, but the idea that you have those options is just, yeah, this is great. I like it. Tells you how to buy and place there, how to score the renovations, and then game end with the renovations. Oh, if I can, and then drawing new renovations. All right. So, and I got to think about that might be a problem. It's not always going to put out a new renovation. It's only going to put out a new renovation if there's actually space. So, you also have to plan on that too. So, all right. All in all, that's enough talking about that. It lets you know how renovations work with other expansions, the new favors and bonuses, the new bonus cards, and it's got it all in here, the royal decrees. So that's a lot of new royal decrees, actually. So, cool. That's enough about that. Let's actually get what people wanted to see. Is the different rooms. So these look like the renovations, so you can see. I'll punch one so that we can show it if we see it. We probably won't see another rooms. This should be all renovations, but this is a little bit smaller than the normal renovation or the normal square room, but only by a little bit. And I'm just going to keep that so if we see the smaller one, I can punch it and show you the differences. That way you don't see how much bigger the Colossal versions are. And now I can show all the backs of these because it's just telling you the same stuff you see in the stack, your chance of getting said renovation. This looks like the smaller version of the renovation stuff. All right. And I went ahead and punched. So you can see the size difference right there. Like, quite big if you have the Colossal. Do you need it? I do not think so. I think, like I said, I enjoy it, but I will tell you this, it takes I think we can get like 2 castles per table, and even that sometimes gets close. So, these are all the normal size for the renovations. And I'll go through each of those, but they should have been all in the smaller version. But we got our trays to load the smaller versions. And just like I do at the end of each of these videos, I'll load these trays real quickly and show you. But they were pretty neat last time. All right, we got 4 of these tiles here. Shows you. And renovations. These probably aren't going to have a spot for the tray just because they're going to probably go with the other stuff, with the other tiles, or the other... Alright. So we got the 250s here. We got the 600 renovations. I don't know how I'm happy to have another expansion here, and some of these sound cool. And I mean, the artwork is great. I just almost feel like it's also a lot cluttered looking because they're trying to put the color in there, but also make it look good. I mean, either way, that ain't going to detract me from the game, but it's just like, you know, you look at this, for instance, you know. Oh, wow. One of these tiles is all jacked up already. I don't know how that happened. Maybe before they punched or whatever. Like, I mean, that's fine. I ain't going to try to put a little glue on it. It should be fine, but We'll see. If I notice it, I'll contact him. Otherwise, I'm sure some others will take a beating. So, but because it looks like these could be either or rooms, or maybe count as both rooms, I'm going to say either ors. It almost gives it a cluttered look. But I think they did it so that you have... because it's not really cluttered. It's just the color throwing off and everything. But I think they did it so you have more options on how to make them, or to personalize your castle to get to the things you need. Because if you're renovating, you're probably renovating to try to get certain rooms. But I do love this artwork for sure, more than the original. And just playing with these Colossals, I think mostly so you can just, because you can see more. It's not so much as playing with bigger pieces. It's just you can see more detail on the tiles and whatnot. And I like that. Instead of like squinting your eyes to see everything that's on the tile. Especially on the smaller ones. The question will be, and I didn't think about it, and I would have brought my my copy home so that I could have filmed it, but I wonder if these will go in the box. Probably not. I hope so, because I don't want to have to carry this box around. So we'll see if it goes in the box. The Bat Cave. Trying to find a way to do that, but with the round rooms, it was getting too hard for me to... The Storm Cellar. Yeah, especially with these, because these would be like this small. So seeing all that detail. Alright. Let's look at these cards real quick, and then I'll load up the trays and see... Show you what it looks like loaded. Alright, so we already saw these trays. We went through them. And then I loaded up the regular version. And you can see they're so tiny. They're so tiny. But yeah, you can just see the clutter that I was talking about. That's going to be kind of hard to see in these. But, and that's really zoomed in. Let's see, I'll go in on that one. But that'd be the regular sized ones for the regular version of the game. And then all I did was just load the square ones inside of here, which is where the cards were. Which, speaking of cards, in the rule book it mentioned about bonus cards for first edition. And I guess I can... And maybe that's just the rule book for everything. Sorry, I've done a weird edit there. Maybe that's just the rule book for everything. Because this says it's only compatible with the new second edition and the moats and the Colossal, basically. Because I noticed they don't mention it on here about those other cards, even though it's in the rule book. So maybe you got to make sure that if you're getting the one, if you have the first edition, because I noticed, yeah, I was getting ready to show all the cards and the little cards aren't in here, which is fine. I don't own the first edition. It's just if you do and you're looking at this expansion, you might want to make sure that it shows compatible with first edition or something, or that it says on the back on the contents there, what I was looking at, that it shows those other smaller cards, because they weren't definitely in this. And I mean, like I said, I'm not complaining. There might have been an option where I could have chose to have that edition. I did not get it because I have the second edition. I got rid of my first edition. But all right, so here's the extra bonus cards. And then extra royal decrees, which, man, this is a lot of extra royal decrees. I really do like, because we played this quite a bit now, and I've started seeing a lot of the same royal decrees now. I mean, not so close that I've actually had to play the same one that I've already played before, but just having some more royal decrees for sure. It's always going to give you a lot more replayability. And if you haven't played with this yet, because you do have the first edition, you didn't check out the second edition, these royal decrees are basically kind of like a player power. You're going to draft them at the early part of the game, and it's going to give you something unique for you. For like this one, you get 3 points for every continuous group of 2 or more same type rooms. Just gives you like a direction kind of go for, but cool. Definitely going to add this in there. And if we have a slow night, which is the only time we can actually use up all the tables for everybody, we will try this out and see what it's all about. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.